Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're reading stories from r/ entitled parents. If you enjoy, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below and all that other stuff. Now let's get started, shall we? Customer wants his food before we open. I was working the opening shift at a restaurant. This guy, we'll call him EG for entitled guy, walks in 10 minutes before we open. I tell him, I'm sorry sir, we don't open for another 10 minutes, EG. Well, I just need to place an order. I again repeat, we don't open for another 10 minutes. After about the third time of him saying, I just need to place an order, I thought he wanted to place a pickup order for later. Sure, no problem. I take his order and ask him what time he wants to pick it up. EG gives me a weird look. As soon as it's ready. Alright, your food will be ready in about 15 to 20 minutes. 15 or 20 minutes? Why is it gonna take so long? Yes, because we don't open for another 10 minutes. And the entitled guy says, cancel my order. This is ridiculous. I can't wait that long. And I say, no problem. Have a nice day. When I say that man stomped out of the store, I thought he would leave footprints in the concrete door. Wild Karen at Walmart. So this morning, super early, I go to the illustrious Mart of Walls to get my weekly groceries and a few gifts to round up my gift shopping for the grandkids. I am disabled, walk with a knee brace and a cane. I leave the pretty little placard that goes on my mirror that says, I can park in the handicap parking. Oh, and I'm overweight. This is important. I get parked in the closest spot to the door. Manage to get out of the car without face planting as my unsteady self is prone to doing, and start making my way inside. I get about halfway across the lane to the door, and I hear a nasally voice behind me screaming, that I'm parked in her spot. I glance over my shoulder, and behold, a Karen in all her glory. Blonde soccer mom hairstyle, too much makeup for 6 a.m., and a nasty scowl staring at me. I toss up a wave and keep moving. I hear her again screaming at me, saying, You're not disabled, you're just fat. To get myself back into my vehicle and move, because I'm in her spot or she's calling the police. Now, folks, I hadn't gotten nearly enough caffeine in my systems yet to deal with a psycho screaming demon at sunrise. I turn and yell at her from across almost the entrance door that she's more than welcome to go ahead and call, that the tags are legal, the placard is registered to those tags, and in the spirit of the holiday season, that she is cordially invited to kiss my chunky disabled ass and have a happy new year. I finally get through the door and get to the electric buggy so I can finally get off my bad leg. I'm met by the designated greeter, happy that people stands by the door. She asks if I need help with the blonde irritation with feet outside. I tell her it's nothing that a can of Raid or some duct tape can't cure, and I go on my merry way trying to locate everything on my list. My extended family is mad at my parents for not wanting to host Christmas. My parents have been hosting Christmas and Thanksgiving for several years for both sides of the parents' family. Every year for Christmas on my dad's side and rotating hosting on my mom's. About 5 years ago, they stopped hosting Thanksgiving. Every year they'd go all out with their cleaning, all hands on deck in the house. Cleaning every part of the living room, upstairs and down. Dining room, kitchen, laundry room, and bathroom, including a platform no one can see the whole thing, except from just the upstairs living room where my nutcracker collection goes. Their house is decently sized, so it takes several hours just to clean it. My parents are older now, mid-50s. I have been moved out for several years, and my sister has gone on a cruise until after the new year. My mom and dad have planned on having a Christmas with just my dad's mom, my aunt, and my other aunt, as well as my uncle, my cousin, and me at her house. Well, Aunt Jay told the another aunt, and I guess everyone who knows is angry about it. I ranted at my grandma about it, and she told my parents she wasn't going to come. There are a lot of people, 10 to 15 depending on which part of my family's side comes, due to an argument from like 6 years ago between the sister of a family member who was hospitalized and the guy's wife. They haven't gotten along even after he was released. My aunt is petty, and we know she's just being pissy because her kids weren't invited. I'm pretty sure the reason Elle was invited was because I didn't want to have to be the one who was my grandma's ride, because I like to stay for a while at my parents' house since I don't see them often, and my grandma wants to go home as soon as food and everything else is done. I went over to do my laundry in my parents' house on Thanksgiving because I don't have a washer and dryer, and the entire time I was finishing up my 2 loads I had, she was asking when we were going to leave, and even put her coat on as I was taking the first load to my car. My mom wants to send an apologetic text to them and explain why they aren't hosting. I told her to tell them if they want someone to host so bad, they can host for the family, because they are tired of the stress and effort to put into hosting, just to put as much effort into cleaning up the mess themselves afterwards. My dad is telling her not to even suggest that someone else hosts, because they should already be volunteering to host, or just not respond at all. But I know my mom will respond, and it will be too nice to people who don't even bother to keep in touch with them after the holidays are over. You're not hot. You're just racist. This interaction happened to me in July. I was traveling from Cornwall up to Bath as my mum had gotten me a ticket to see Randy Feltface live for my birthday. The trip was to catch a coach from my town to Bristol, and then I had to take another bus from Bristol to Bath. It was a bit of fish out of water situation, but manageable. Took about 8 to 9 hours total. On the bus to Bath, it was quite busy, but the bath was free, save for another woman there who was minding her own business, so I sat in the back too. At this point, it was about 20 degrees Celsius, so it was quite hot by UK standards, and even though I was in a short sleeve, I was still quite warm. I asked the woman if she minded up opening one of the windows, and she had no issues with it, so I did. A few stops later, a black woman steps onto the bus. She was wearing a thick black winter coat, a beanie, and thick leggings. When she got on the bus, she headed to the back and closed all other windows on her way to the back. She then sat on the other side on the back of the bus. I was still quite warm, so I asked her if I could open the window. Not the best thing to ask, as this was the interaction that followed me. Excuse me, but I had that window open.
Yeah, and I closed it.
Well, yes, but I'm still quite warm. Would you mind if I opened it again?
You're not hot. If you were hot, you'd take off that hoodie of yours.
Now, it's true I was wearing a hoodie. However, it was a short-sleeve zip-up hoodie, made of the thinnest material. Unzipped in this context, I might add. It's more of a fashion choice than anything to do with warmth. Nevertheless, the conversation continued. Well, it's not really a hoodie, but
I am cold, you get that? You white people always want to get your way over us N-words.
she used the actual N-word.
Go use your white supremacy somewhere else, you racist F-word.
I was in stunned silence from that. I had no idea what to say in response, and I couldn't move anywhere else because the bus was packed by this point, and all the seats were full. So I just sat there in silence while others opened their windows again. About 10 minutes into the trip, I glanced to my side, and I crud you not, she was lying on the 4 seats in the back. Her legs were curled up and just barely missing me. I was stunned, but took the opportunity to open the window again, when I confirmed she was sleeping. Eventually, she got up and got off the bus, all the while shouting,
You white people make me sick. You let a white witch spread her legs on the back, but no, N-words have to curl up like animals.
Admittedly, I was grateful we didn't have the same stop, because good lord, that would not have been a fun moment. It was definitely one of the craziest experiences I had on public transport. It was certainly the first time I'd been called a racist. Aside from that experience, I had a wonderful time watching Randy, and the Bath was a wonderful city to explore. I flipped the script on an entitled Karen. This happened about 3 or 4 months ago. I work at a military clinic, At the time, a front desk receptionist. There was a lady that came in one day demanding that a doctor sign a sports physical form for her teenage daughter right away, or else her daughter wouldn't be able to continue playing sports. Thing is, her daughter had lost the form that had already previously been filled out by the doctor. I explained to her that this more than likely would not be done right away due to the doctor's busy schedule, and the fact that particular doctor wasn't in yet. She insisted on waiting, even though the nurse also had said the same thing, that it may not be done right away. Finally, she decided to go home and wait for them to call her when it was done. Luckily for her, the doctor took a time to fill out the form as soon as he got in. The nurse called her and let her know that she could come in and pick it up. When she got there, I handed her the form and told her to have a nice day. Immediately, she asked to speak to a supervisor. I kindly told her that she could go to the second floor and speak to the patient rep. She proceeded to have a fit in the middle of the waiting room, claiming that I was rude to her and I had a problem with her waiting in the due to I had a problem with her waiting for the form. Not true at all. Both I and the nurse told her that she was more than welcome to wait, but didn't recommend it due to the possible long waiting time. She started blurting out some BS about her own kind not looking out for her. We're both African American. She then went to the patient rep and lied through her teeth. Lol. Security who had stepped in sided with me because they had witnessed the behavior that day and before. The same lady had been escorted out of the building by security in the past. Needless to say, her complaint was thrown out. But here comes the cherry on top. I still work in the same clinic. Yesterday, the same lady came in causing trouble again. Again, she wanted to speak to the patient rep. But guess who the new patient rep is? It's yours truly. You should have seen her face when she walked into my office. She definitely recognized me, and of course, she was the one causing trouble again. She told so many lies, just like she had done to me months before. I, of course, remained professional, and once I completed my investigation, which lasted all of 1 hour, I started the ball rolling to have her banned from the clinic and trespassed. She hasn't gotten the call yet, but boy, would I love to be a fly on the wall when the higher-ups call her and give her the good news. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and all that other stuff. Now I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.